Hello, everybody. Please let me know if you can hear everything. Hopefully. Someone else say something just so they can hear you too.
Hello, everybody.
Yay.
Hey, you guys.
You all lost the game because we did earlier.
Freaking A.
Maggie.
Another one.
Again.
Curses. Yay,
likes
you
the
can
dust.
hear us. You can hear us and we're here.
Yay.
Winning. Hashtag winning. Okay. Yes. Welcome to Retirement at the Opera. Our sponsor for tonight is Canadian Dice. Go to canadiandice.ca and use the code THEVACTAIR, all one word, at checkout for 15% off your order. Maggie's dice pick of the week is Pyrotechnics, I believe.
Yeah, they're like really cool. They're like kind of marbled with like a magenta, purple, and an orange, and then like with a white base and gold lettering.
Heck
I just
yes.
haven't seen that combo a lot. They
Yeah.
look really cool. And also,
They're very
as somebody who has problems seeing things, it's very legible, and I always appreciate that about Ryan's dice.
Yeah. He does a great job with the dice.
And the inking's very clean too.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
good.
Next, make sure you check out our merch store at tinyurl.com/vac merch. You can get excellent designs like Half Orc Energy and the Vac Blob. I'm gonna put that in the chat as well. And there are 2 new Spooktober designs by Affy, both of which the proceeds go to Extra Life. So make sure you check those out. They're really fun. I'm a big fan of the basic witch pumpkin spice one myself. And speaking of Extra Life, Spooktober has not only officially begun, it's almost over. Believe it or not.
Where did you go?
I know. Today's the 25th, if you can believe that. Yeah, we're raising money for Extra Life for Kids. Last year we did the same thing, just a big month-long fundraiser ending with a 12-hour organized chaos drop-in, drop-out stream. We're doing that again this year, by the way, so keep an eye out on the socials for that. Last year we raised just over $1,300. We would love to do that again this year and maybe improve on that. You can find the link at www.tinyurl.com/Vactair Extra Life 2023, or click the link in chat, or click the link under the video, or look us up again on the socials. We're all there. We're doing great. Everything's awesome. So check it out, and donate if you can. Now I'm going to see if I can get this to work. Oh, it's still old. Okay. You can check out our typical schedule by typing in !schedule in the chat, and it will show the amazing games we typically have running. Because it is Spooktober, we have some extra stuff happening. So tomorrow we do have no Song of Crystal and Shadow tomorrow. But then Friday we'll be back with Fixius 5 at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Saturday morning is Together Among the Stars with Keisha from Potions and Potpourri as the guest. That's at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. Then Saturday evening, we have our back on track episode of Backpacker's Guide to TTRPGs. Artemis and I are going to be talking about spooky games and how to make them, how to play them, how to stay safe when you're doing that. Sunday afternoon, we have A House Not a Home at 1 p.m. with GM Maggie. That's a Darkest House one-shot.
Guess who's going to be there?
There's a
Alyssa.
couple maybe there.
Oh, also. And does the house hate us, Maggie? I can't remember.
The house does hate you.
Uh-oh.
So it'll probably be fine.
But you
Everything's great.
Everything's fine. Sunday evening on DM Jeremy's channel, we're going to have Legacy of Fire at 8:30 Eastern. Then Monday is Mistwalkers at 8:30 p.m. Tuesday, Halloween, is the Hallowed Holler at 8:30 p.m. Eastern with DM Cedar. And as always, you can find our podcasts wherever you download your podcasts from. Whew. We got it. We got it. All right. With that, I think we're ready. I think that's all I have. So, Woody, if you would like to take it away. Or if everyone wants to introduce themselves, maybe we should start with that. I don't know. It's up to you. You're the GM.
Introduce themselves. I guess I'll introduce myself first. Hi, my name is Woody. You can find me mostly at the Storyteller's Tavern on social media. That is our handle for pretty much everything. So we do a podcast. We just finished the last episode of our D&D podcast, The Sunless Citadel, which is super exciting. Yes, and we have new exciting things coming hopefully soon. But yeah, I use they, them pronouns, and I'm your game master tonight. And I'll explain what game we're playing in a second. I'll just hand it off to Maggie to introduce themselves.
My name is Maggie /Holloweyes on most social media. I go by she, they pronouns. And do you want us to introduce our characters?
Not yet. We'll introduce them in game.
Awesome. I'm really cool. I play.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, I play in Mistwalkers Monday, and I play in Fixius Friday. And again, like Emily said, I'm running my second game ever, which will be a one-shot of The Darkest House, a system by Monty Cook Games, on the 29th. And, hi.
Who wants to go next?
Nose goes.
I'll go. I can't even see the screen, so I'll go. I'm Emily. I also play in Fixius Friday and occasionally write one-shots to run on here. I'm Corvée on most social medias. And I stream writing stuff on Twitch, and someday my goal is to convince Twitch to create a writing category, because it can be interesting too. That's it.
I'm gonna force me to go next.
Me? You?
Okay, yeah, go
I
for
missed the name. Sorry.
I just said I'm gonna force one of y'all to go first, and I just said Amy. It was the first name that came to mind.
Oh, sure. Hi, I'm Amy Marie, or Amy Marie by the Sea, all over the internet. I have played in a couple games, but I appear sporadically in different one-shots, and I'm happy to dress like an old lady today. It's going to be very fun. I love getting to showcase my collection of wigs. To you.
Okay. I'm Alyssa, and you can find me on mostly Instagram at AlyssaB_illustrations. I am also excited to be in a wig tonight. Not my real hair. And very excited to be playing in this campaign where we can all be Jessica Fletcher. Amazing. Yes. Finally. And yeah, so I'm here with Fixies 5 on Fridays, and I have been in one of M's amazing one-shots, and also played with Woody before in a fantastic one-shot. So very excited. Yep, that's it for me.
Awesome. So I guess I'll just very quickly explain what game we're playing. We are playing Brindlewood Bay. It is like Murder, She Wrote meets Lovecraft. And everyone plays as old ladies in a book club who solve murders in the town of Brindlewood Bay. This is actually my first time running this game, but ever since I was told about this game by Ash, they have been singing the praise of this game. So I've been really wanting to play or run it. And this entire game is inspired by fandom at the opera. So that's why it's called Retirement at the Opera. So if you see some references to Phantom of the Opera, then that is not a coincidence. So, we will get started if everyone is ready.
Let's
All
do
right.
it.
So, we begin on a cool, overcast October afternoon where Brindlewood Bay's murder mavens find themselves near the edge of town, standing outside the abandoned Royal Nereid Theatre, a grand but dilapidated structure that is like a splice of an opera house and a cathedral. A building with a fragmented past. The murder mavens arrive outside its tall stone walls with the intent of investigating the murder of the theater's former soprano prima donna, Christianna Julien, on request of the theater's proprietor, Harold Schumacher. In front of you, this building is like a husk of what it used to be in its former glory days. It's been abandoned for about 20 years, and just from living in the town for a while, you would know that in the late 1800s, it was supposed to be a cathedral, but it was abandoned, the construction, because a series of mysterious accidents made people believe that the building was cursed. But then it was bought in the 1930s, and the intact structure that remained was used to build the theater. And so you are approaching, and you notice that there is a police car parked out in front of the theater. And leaning against its hood is a middle-aged man in uniform, and he has receding black hair and a face that is just lined with stress wrinkles, and a kind of like brown coat, almost like kind of bomber-style jacket, kind of tucked really close around himself. He's kind of cold. When he sees you, he makes a bit of a face, like he's not really pleased to see you, and then he goes and stands up a little bit straighter. He flicks away the cigarette he's smoking and goes, "Hello, ladies. You must be the murder mavens that I have been hearing about."
Is he hot?
Yes.
Why, yes, officer, we are. How are you this fine evening, sir?
Well, it is quite cold, and I could be doing better considering the circumstances. I am Detective Gil Bucat. It is very nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you too, darling.
And you are all kind of gesturing for you all to introduce yourselves.
Well,
You did go first.
sure. I'm Minerva Medlock. Nice to meet you.
Kim Myung. She's
Enter.
looking at him hard squinting, just like studying him, judging him.
Mm-hmm.
I just
also
offer
kinda
my
cool.
hand.
He takes your hand, and he just kind of gives it a shake. He doesn't kiss it.
Not a gentleman. I see.
As you are.
Me? Okay, yeah. I'm Mattie Greenthorne, sir.
Ah,
Yourself?
my name, like I said, is Detective Gil Bucat. It is very nice to meet you. Now, I am aware that you have been asked to come here based on the request of the proprietor, Harold. I do not think it is very necessary for you to be here, if I will be perfectly honest. But if you want to hear, then yes, I will bring you inside, if you are ready to go inside.
Harry is always happy to see us.
That's true. We have
He
helped
starts
in the
pushing
past.
past him to go inside.
The detective kind of sighs and he starts walking up the stairs as well, just going slowly, just so like y'all can keep up if you are a little old ladies. And as he's walking up the stairs, he goes, "By now, I assume that you have heard of what has happened here, the death of Christianna Julien."
Yes, we had heard that. What happened? More detail,
Well,
please.
Well, if I will be perfectly honest for you, I do believe that unfortunately Christina committed suicide, though Harold does not think this. He believes that something foul play has been happening, but I do not think that. She was having very bad.
I was gonna say, we don't usually get called in for suicides.
No. Mr. Schumacher believed that it was not a suicide. He thinks it is something like foul play. But Mrs. Julien's her health was declining, and she has much grief over many things coming back here to the theater. I just do not believe that there is much foul play involved, because no, I would want someone to kill her. She has not even been in the country for a very long time. Anyways.
Well, I don't know. Harry's not usually the guy to make up things. He usually is a great judge of character.
Also, people...
he kind of like gives you a look like are we talking about the same Harold? This guy's a whack job.
people want to kill immigrants all the time. You should know that there's violence there if you are detective.
That's a fair
course,
point.
Of course.
She
that
is
is
very short, partially because she was born short, but as you get older, you shrink. So she's like 4'10", but when she looks at him, it's with the power of somebody who is like 10 feet tall.
He nods and goes, "Of course, I will not argue otherwise about that. But
Good.
anyways, let us go inside." And he'll open these large wooden doors. They creak, and as he's opening it, he actually reaches into his coat and he pulls out some flashlights and offers them to you and goes, "The lights did not work inside the theater."
Well, I'll take that, thank you.
I
He
will
gives
send no to
everyone
a flashlight.
He flicks on his own flashlight. It's like a pocket flashlight in his coat pocket. Think like Silent Hill, you know Silent Hill, little pocket flashlight. He clicks it on and goes inside. The theater, it smells faintly of smoke. There was a fire that led to the closing of the theater over 20 years ago, and it's very clear in the scars of age and neglect. The architecture of the theater, despite everything, is breathtaking. It has high dome ceilings and marble columns, and the space is like entering a Eugene Delacroix painting. It's awe-inspiring and romantic and dreadful at the same time. He walks through this foyer to this grand staircase that starts as one and splits into two, then kind of goes around to a main area on the main floor, and he begins leading you up this large marble staircase. And as he does, he goes, "The upper levels of the theater, they are too dangerous to traverse. The flooring is very rotten, but your investigation shall only keep you here on the main floor."
Well, where did they find her?
Inside of the grand auditorium, you will see. And with that, he brings you up the stairs and through another set of doors that are propped open into what was the grand auditorium of the theater. It's same with the rest of the theater. It's kind of like a shell of this once elegant room that it used to be. The oval space is decorated with splintered wood that's the color of burnt charcoal, and there's debris scattered on the ground. Most of the seats where patrons would sit and watch this large stage have been removed and are just piled up along the walls. And in the center of the room, almost like the image of like a fallen angel, something fallen so beautiful from grace, is this magnificent chandelier that it just shattered and left to ruin. And beside it is this white chalk outline, kind of like a police outline of where a body would be. And in front of that stands a old gentleman. He's wearing a black tailored suit with tailcoats. It's like tailcoat suit. Old dress shoes, and he's leaning on a cane. And he has this white balding hair, and his skin is sagging, so he kind of gets this appearance of like a very sad bulldog. And when you approach, he goes, "Oh, very good. I'm very happy you have all come." And you all know that this is Harold Schumacher, who is a bit of the eccentric theater owner.
Hello, Harold.
It's good to see you all. I wish that we could have met in better circumstances, but it seems not.
How did you find her?
Here. And he points to where the chalk outline was, and he just kind of, he gets this very upset look, and he goes, "Christianna, my heart. We were meant to meet up this morning to go over some things we wanted to auction in the theater, but when I arrived around 8 a.m., the time that we were going to meet, I found her here in front of the chandelier." And he raises like a shaking finger up and points up above you all, and you see that the roof of the auditorium is a dome painted with a damaged but like beautiful depiction of this angels in the sky, this kind of mural. And around it is a circular walkway, and one of the railings of the walkway is broken. And Harold goes, "She must have fell, but I don't think that it was an accident, and I don't think that it was a suicide. I think somebody pushed her."
Well, how do you get up there?
"Well, you go around the backstage. There is a ladder. You go up it. Then you walk, and there is a door, and you can go out. That area there, it is meant to be for the maintenance of the painting. But it is very old. I don't know why Christianna would go up there. She has no reason to." And you see Gil kind of make a face like, because she kills herself. But Harold is kind of like not really convinced.
Is she always early? Early's good though.
She was very punctual about time, but I think that if she were to be early, she would have waited outside for me.
Does she have a key to get inside?
Yes, I gave her a key. We had met up the day before. She had landed here from France just a few days ago, and I met with her for some lunch to get caught up. It has been a very long time since I've seen her, and I gave her a key so she could come in when she wanted.
Was key on body? Was the key on the body?
And Detective Gill speaks up and goes, "On the body of the victim, we found her wallet. Yes, we did find the keys." He's like looking at a notepad. She had on her coat and car keys, her purse, but there was nothing on her to suggest anything else. She just had the normal things that people would have when they leave the house.
Have you looked? Oh, this is the 70s, right? To
Yeah.
clarify. Okay. She does not have a cell phone, then I assume.
No.
Time traveler.
Curses.
Have you tried?
It appears the victim was a time traveler. I found this phone.
No.
A dial-up phone in her purse.
Yeah.
Just a strange phone in her pocket. It's like this black rectangle.
It won't stop playing cat videos.
Have you checked the
Harry,
car?
darling. So, was there anything else that was out of place here?
Well, to be honest, I've not been in here for very long. I've been traveling the world, and so when I got a letter from Christianna, I have not heard from her in a very long time. She sent me a letter. She was asking that she wanted to auction some things off from the theater to move on from the past. And so I was very surprised to hear from her, but it was not really out of the ordinary. I had hoped that maybe one day she would reach out to me.
What
Anyways,
things does she want to auction off?
Well, mostly things that have value. She has been wanting me. Well, when we met, she had wanted me to sell the theater finally. I have not had the heart to sell it, even though it's been sitting here. It has sentimental value, and I hoped maybe one day I would be able to revitalize this place. But
I know
she
a lot of people with a lot of money that, under the right circumstances, can throw really elaborate parties to raise money to save things like this. The murder might diminish that a little bit, but, we could work something out.
Well, yes, that's very kind of you. Though I'm not so sure. I think maybe it is time to put this place in the past and let it move on. Anyways, I returned from my trip here to meet up with Christianna so that we could auction off some things. We had met here today, or we were going to meet, to look around and pick out the things we wanted to auction, get some money put together. Anyways, it did not turn out like that.
When you saw her the other day, did she seem off in any way? Different? Worried, perhaps?
She seemed sad. Yes,
Hmm.
she seemed like a melancholy, nostalgic. We did not end our relationship many years ago on good terms, and so I was afraid maybe she will be upset with me, but she was not. She was mostly reminiscent about everything here, and then yes, she was just I don't know. She was not the same Christiana that I knew many years ago, but I would not say that she was depressed or suicidal.
Mm.
She was just, reliving what it was like living here many years ago.
Did she mention anything in her life that might have caused her to want to revisit this time together?
Well, in a few days from now, it will be the anniversary of the fire. I think maybe that may have had something to do with it. We both lost a very good friend in the fire. He was a good man. His name was Lawrence Leroux. He was our childhood friend, and he had died in the fire. It was very hard for both of us. I think maybe that could have contributed to her wanting to finally have me sell the theater and put everything to rest.
Do you know if she had anything else going on in her life? Anything to look forward to?
I'm not entirely sure. To be honest, she did not talk much about her life. I talked a lot about what I was doing. I've been traveling the world. But as far as I know, she has remained in France. And she was I believe she teaches music. But I'm not entirely sure.
Then...
Your friend Lawrence, where did he die in the fire here?
He gets a very sad look and goes, the fire, it had started during one of the performances. There was just some issues with one of the lighting props, and it sparked and lit the curtain on fire. And during the fire, Lawrence, he had helped everyone else to leave, but then the scaffolding, it collapsed on him, and then we could not find him after.
He died a hero.
Yes. He died the man that he had lived as. He was a good man.
Have you found the stuff you plan to auction? Is it here?
We were supposed to look through it this morning. Mostly the things that are still intact that we can get, they are in the backstage, the dressing rooms, and yes, that's mostly it. Backstage it has 2 floors. One of them goes up to where the scaffolding is. The dressing room is just right in the backstage. We were going to go through all that.
Do you know if anyone else
Right.
had keys to this building?
No, only me and Christianna.
Maybe we should go have a look at that stuff. See if there's anything missing or anything that's a little strange.
Mr.
If you
Officer,
don't... yes.
could you get warrant for the car?
Christiana's car?
Yes.
It was a rental that she had rented.
Could you get warrant?
We already searched it. Inside was really nothing of interest. It was had the papers for the car, and inside was her driver's license, but nothing else really.
Do you know where she stayed?
She stayed at a nearby hotel. It is the Seaside hotel by the pier. She has stayed there.
Do you have warrant?
We are trying to get one right now.
Let us know. Leave a message on our answering machine.
Very well.
I've heard good things about that place. Supposed to be real nice to stay there.
That's true.
Yes, it is quite nice. I've been there a few times myself. Why is my accent turning Russian suddenly? I have to get back to the accent.
Right?
Yes, I've been there a few times myself.
Yes, I've been there a few
I
times.
am
French,
Dracula.
but
You just have to go fakir and then you'll get it back. That's what we heard from Jeremy.
Yes.
But I am remaining here for the investigation, just so that if you need any help, I will be here. And Harold nods as well and goes, "Well, if you don't mind, I think I will stay out here. If you need me, I don't know if I can bring myself right now to look around."
Sure.
You
I
know, just stay
understand,
here.
dear.
Make sure you stay with the nice officer man. And if he does anything to make you upset, you just let me know. I know how to deal with those naughty boys.
All right, thank you very much.
If
Whack him with your purse.
get murdered,
I have a little cane. I'm gonna go.
scream if get murdered. Got it?
Right.
Well, I might look down here. I've got like a... I pull out my monocular that I use from bird watching, and I'm like, yes, I think I could probably look around in the rubble down here and see if anything fell out of pockets or...
Mm-hmm.
You need the stick.
Spread out
You
amongst-
know, the stick.
Oh, yes, yes, well, I mean, for these
I
purposes...
have my trowel.
Oh, you could dig through the debris, dear. One
Why,
thing, you
yes,
can help.
I could.
What's his face? Harold goes, "If you need to reach the backstage, it is to the right back of the stage." And he's like pointing with a shaky finger.
All right.
Was he always
Well-
shaky, or is he like nervous shaky?
He's like old shaky.
Got it. Got it.
I do have one question before we mosey on off. Is there only one entrance to this building, or is there any other way in?
Good point.
Well, considering it's very old, I've been keeping pretty good with the upkeep of at least keeping windows closed and trying to keep out any trespassers. There is a back door in the stage area for emergency exits, and and on there is one other entrance for deliveries, but they should both be locked. Any other entrance would be inaccessible because the upper floors, the wood is rotten and you would fall right through.
Group hydrate.
Sadly true.
And a posture check. Thanks, Rick.
Well, Harold,
Remember
this is
this
such
for
a
Ricky.
beautiful old building. Thank you so much for your help. I know this has got to be so hard for you.
Yes, Christianna was my heart. I will do anything if it means getting some kind of closure.
I know, dear. You take good care of yourself. We're going to have a look around here and hopefully figure something out.
Thank you. And you actually see Gil go over and he grabs like one of the older chairs that is less burned up and like puts it down for Harold to sit down in.
Aw.
And it doesn't break, right? It's fine.
No, it shatters and he just falls.
No.
It doesn't break.
I would like it would just be sitcom, but I'm glad that he's okay. I like him so far.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
do want to take my monocular and start looking around where the body outline is and see if there's
Okay,
anything that like bounced off into other areas.
Let me see here. Uno momento. I want you to roll a middling move.
Ooh.
So roll a 2d6, and I want you to add, I'd say add your reason to it.
Reason. Okay. Ooh, okay. 5 and a 4 and +1.
5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a 10.
Yeah, sorry, I guess I could
So
have
that's a
done
hit.
that math.
No, it's okay. It's a hit. It's a hit. So as you're looking through your binoculars, little binoculars, and you're trying to find maybe if anything was knocked out from the body when it fell, or if something was dropped, you notice that there are footprints in the dust that seem to lead back towards where the back area of the stage is. And on them, when you come and get a closer look, seems to be like traces of paint.
Paint. Hey, oh, and I take my riding crop out
What
of
color?
and I like point at the footprints because I definitely have a riding crop as well.
Wearing it everywhere.
I'm wearing like a
As you
hunting
do.
vest with the the ones that have like 4 pockets for ammunition, but I
Yeah.
don't have a rifle. I have a riding crop and a monocular,
Oh,
and now I have a
Always be
flashlight.
prepared for the hunt.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Righto. That
Um,
way.
Me Young is wearing like multiple patterns. They like have like a long sleeve shirt that's like paisley, and then like over that there's like a like one of those like puffy vests, and they have on like a green visor, and they also have a perm. And they have like comfortable pants and like ergonomic shoes.
They're beautiful.
I do my fashion,
That's right.
which honestly is very functional. It helps
It
block
is.
out the sun,
It's true.
and you also stay warm.
Does I'm gonna take a little bit of a look at the paint. Does it match anything in the area?
Meddling move. And let me see here. Trying to see what you'd use. Use your composure, I think, for that one. Add it to your meddling move. So you'd roll 2d6 and add your composure.
Composure. So I take the higher of the two, correct?
For
or
the
it's full.
2d6, you add both of the 2d6s, and then you add your composure.
Cool. Then it's a 9.
All right. You are looking around. So that's a complicated success. You're looking around, trying to see if you can find anything that would match this paint. And you just kind of realize how much surface of this area is actually covered in paint. Like, there's the painting on the ceiling, there are custom paintings on the walls, and it seems like this dried paint could have come from anywhere, especially with the amount of water damage that is also in the building. Someone could have stepped on water damaged paint, dragged it around. The paint does look fairly old, it doesn't look like fresh paint. So it's hard to say exactly where it could have come from.
I'm gonna just pick up a little piece just in case. Just a little piece match, like all my jigsaw puzzles. Just
Yeah. It's a little crumbly, you know. I don't know paint. Oh my god, my sister would kill me. It's kind of like, you know, like crusty oil paint, a little rubbery, but because of water damage, it's kind of like gucky and gross. You know, sticky. Maybe
I'm
has
just
lead
holding
in it.
2 very long, like acrylic nails.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty old, and like you're kind of trying to match it to things around the area, but there's just so many paintings that could have come from anywhere.
Artist.
Deborah, I've got a Tupperware in my purse if you want to put that in here.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay, here you go, darling.
I drop it on in.
We should have another Tupperware party.
I love the last one. I'm still using my measuring spoons.
It had like olives in it and ham.
Yes, that was an interesting one. And I do appreciate the colours, you know, the rusty reds, the mustard yellows, they're fantastic.
Like birds.
Exactly.
And those semi-transparent lids, those really help you figure out what's in that when it's in your fridge. Let me tell you.
It's true. I have found painter's tape is great to put right across the top. You get to switch it out, make sure you get all the dates on it.
Nice tip.
That's true, yes. All right, well...
So where do these footprints go there?
Back there.
Minerva.
Towards the...
Okay, well...
towards the back of the theater, right? Like backstage
Yeah,
area?
towards towards the backstage area.
Yes, towards the backstage area, which I suppose we're probably heading that way anyway, so...
Sounds like a plan.
Follow those. It was just the one set of footprints, you said?
Yeah, it's just one set of footprints. With your roll that was like pretty high, I would say like to you, they look like maybe dress shoes.
Okay.
Maybe the size is pretty large. If you had to guess, maybe men's dress shoes.
Oh. Well, these don't track with what we've heard about this Christine. I seriously doubt she'd be wearing men's dress shoes.
Also wouldn't be one of the maintenance workers who's here doing upkeep either.
True.
Alright, well, onwards and upwards, though maybe not upwards quite yet. It seems a bit dangerous.
Yeah.
Those stairs don't quite look sturdy to me.
Sorry, my mom had an issue. What just happened?
We're
We're
going...
gonna head on to the back.
Okay.
Following the footprints.
Yeah.
Bigfoot.
You all you Bigfoot.
Okay,
You follow the footprints towards the backstage area. And oh Jesus, I got closest. The backstage it's a bit like organized chaos, and it's kind of it seems like this area is one of the areas that was most badly affected by the fire. It smells really bad. It is water damaged, and everything is just like covered in a layer of soot. And in this backstage area, you see this like large what would be like a background piece that is kind of like cracked down the middle and kind of slouching a little bit. And there are just like scattered crates of props and costumes, and it is just a bit of a mess. And you do see that there is like a set of metal stairs that go up towards where Harold said the scaffolding is. And you also see that there is a door that is kind of ajar and falling off the hinges a little bit that has like dressing room written on it. Yeah.
Okay.
So we know
I
that they
think-
were holding their stuff in the dressing room.
Right.
So I do find those stairs mighty tempting.
They are metal. Which is much better than I thought.
Yeah, I think we'd have been in trouble if those were wooden, but I think you're all right. Should we check the dressing room first and then see what's going on upstairs?
Makes sense.
That's about right.
You. Oh, sorry.
Nope, go for it.
You walk to the dressing room. It is a fairly long room. And on one side, the right side, is just these like multiple dressers. Like it's not connected. It's like every actor, singer had like their own kind of custom dresser sort of thing going on. And they're all quite old, and there's just kind of a scattered mess everywhere. You can see some costumes, maybe some old makeup left behind. But the thing that catches your eyes the most is that the kind of closer to the end is a dresser that has the name Christianna written on it.
Oh.
Interesting.
Do you suppose that's where she was setting things aside? Or maybe it's just
It might be.
her stuff.
It also might have been from when she was a singer here.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Open it.
I'm just gonna put on these gloves because we do not want to be leaving fingerprints around this place. Just one
Fingerprints?
second here. I'm gonna take care of that drawer. You just wait. I go and
They
open
look
the
for
door.
Full, full commitment to character with the gardening gloves.
So good.
Before you open the drawer, one thing that you notice that doesn't even need a roll, it's quite obvious, is on the mirror, kind of like tucked into like the sides where maybe there's like a little space, are lots of photos, Polaroid photos, and in the images are most of them are of a handsome young man with short blonde hair and a fuzzy mustache. And one of the photos depicts Christianna as a young woman with this man. And there's a caption written on the old age-stained Polaroid that reads, "To my pearl from your faithful oyster." And it is signed Lawrence LaRoe.
Oysters. Everybody
Oh.
oysters. Where's the throat goat?
Lord.
Throat Goat 2.0.
Is she hot?
It's too hot.
Was Christianna hot?
Yeah, she was hot. Lawrence was hot too.
Yes.
Everyone's hot.
Oh. What a lovely
I think
looking
we should
couple.
keep one of
Do we
I
see
agree.
any pictures of what's his face who died?
That
Well,
was
Lawrence was
that was
yeah,
him.
Lawrence was the
wasn't it?
one who died.
Oh,
Yeah.
But,
Do we
but
see
you
Harold? Yeah.
No, there are no photos of Harold.
damn.
It's only Lawrence and then Lawrence and Christianna.
Hmm.
There's no like burn book.
No burn book.
Would be fitting for this setting. Double.
Yeah, double.
There are burned books, but no burn book.
Yeah.
I think we should
Um,
keep this. We might need it later. I tuck it into my purse.
You take the little Polaroid and carefully put it into your purse. Now you can open the drawer. So when you
Okay.
open the drawer, what you find is some very old makeup, maybe some jewelry, but then you do find kind of like rattling in there is an old jewelry case.
Are there pearls in it? Open
You
the
open the damn box. What's in the box? What's in the box? You crack open the box and it explodes. I'm just kidding.
End of campaign. TPK in the dressing room.
Boom. You open the box, and inside of it, to your surprise, is not jewelry, but probably 10 to 15 empty painkiller bottles. And on the bottles, the stickers, kind of where they write who it's to, all of them are written to Christianna Julien.
Are they in French?
No, they're in English.
Well,
Okay.
I'm a little surprised, but all right. We should probably keep one of these bottles too.
Is that legal to keep the bottle?
I think if it's empty, it's illegal.
How
What?
old are they?
What's the dates on those? Are they from back before, or are they more recent?
So most of the dates are, let me see here.
That's a really good point.
Most of the dates are from around the early 1950s.
Oh, do you think that she still used them now and then she fell down?
Anything's possible.
I suppose they would have mentioned it if it was in her purse, though. But they
Maybe she
seem-
stopped. Maybe she got better.
Maybe.
Why would you keep them here, though? The old bottles. You just throw them away.
Unless you're trying to hide something
They are hidden.
and
in
you
a
don't
jewelry
think
box.
anyone's going to look in your jewelry box.
Well, she was wrong. We did. Now we know. She's dead.
Culprit found! It's the pills!
Mystery solved. No.
Ta-da!
We did it.
What are there names on any of the other dressing room tables?
The names are mostly for people that you don't know. You notice that there isn't one for Harold, or Lawrence. Most of them are like Anna, Amy. There's like Juliet, things like that. Just for like the other actors, and kind of rummaging through them. Most of them contain things that are really not of much interest. It's mostly just old makeup, maybe some keepsakes, but nothing really related to the case. As you're kind of like, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, does anything stand out as a collectible that's worth selling?
Maybe like an old makeup brush here or there.
They did say they were storing things here, right?
I believe so, but clearly not right here. I wonder where Harry's office was. He did own this place, right?
I think so. Is there anything
Yeah.
in this
You should have had it up to
dresser
code.
that's like, maybe if she was hiding pills in here in her jewelry box, is there anything else in this dresser like a false bottom or something stuck
Perhaps.
behind? Or...
Roll a meddling with your vitality.
Ooh,
This one is a tripwire.
I don't like that.
This one explodes.
4. A 1, a 2, plus 1. Easy math.
You
Terrible roll.
you try, but you can't find any false bottoms.
Get my hand stuck in the
Nothing of the sort on the. Yeah, you kind of get your hand stuck a little. You pulled out. You can't really find
Splinters.
any sort of false bottom in the dresser.
Is there any wardrobe or something like that?
There is a wardrobe nearby. You open this old wardrobe, and it is like some moths fly out, and And there's lots of old coats, robes, and as you're kind of going through the hangers, they do have names on them. And you find a hanger with just kind of like very moth-eaten old fur coat that says Christianna on the hanger.
I'm gonna take that one down and see if it has any pockets anywhere on it.
You look through the pockets and you do find something. In one of the pockets, you find what can really only be described as a steamy love letter.
Ooh,
It's
do
a letter of confession of love and devotion written to Christianna. Much of the writing is very faded, though you can excuse my awful butchering of this. You do find the faded words "Vous êtes mon cœur," written vaguely, kind of near the end of the page, and the letter is unsigned.
Does anyone here speak French?
Oh, I think that officer did.
I'm going to pocket that letter in my little date book, just to keep it nice and pressed. And once when we make our way out, we'll ask the nice officer if he can take a look see.
Also for you, let's see here. Yes, also, Deborah also finds in the other pocket, funnily enough, another letter. But this one is not as nice. It is written in the same handwriting, but it's more angry. It is very crumpled and it's partially torn, so some of the letter is not legible anymore. But it seems to be, just what you can vaguely make out, detailing the writer's anger towards Christiana's desire to leave the theater. And you can see that the words are sort of laced with fake threats. And you can just vaguely read the phrase, "Without the Royal Nereid and without me, you're nothing. You better remember our deal."
Well, I do believe she did have a few enemies.
Yeah. I
And
think you're right.
strangely enough, both the love letter and the angry letter are written in the same handwriting.
We should try to find samples of other people's handwriting.
I think that is a smart idea.
I agree.
Where is we talked about Harold's office, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or do the other people have dressers that we could look in, or are they just like
Not here.
Okay.
You don't know if Harold mentioned an office, but you can certainly. There's definitely a way to look around for one. Yes.
Can we search?
Oh yeah. As you guys are kind of making a game plan to exit the dressing room and look for an office. Let me see here.
Another chandelier falls just outside the door.
I imagine we're like
Mavens nearly escaped
like,
death once
gang.
more.
What is everyone's sensitivity?
-1.
Mine's -1 because that's how we start out.
I think same, yeah. Yep.
I have a 0 because that's where I put my extra point.
All right, so Deborah, can you roll me an occult move?
Oh.
I do feel like my sensitivities are tingling.
I'm getting the vapors.
But maybe not very well. That was a 3.
Oh no.
Oh, sorry, a 4. I didn't add. No, wait, I don't add anything. Never mind. I'm wrong. 3.
3? Okay.
Senile in my old age.
You are standing here and you're getting ready with the rest of your friends to exit and continue your investigation, and something just feels wrong. You know, like when a shiver runs up your spine and you feel like someone's watching you. or when you wake up in the middle of the night and you just don't know why, but you feel like something's really wrong, or when you're having a really good day, but there's just this gnawing presence that something is not right. And then the door to the dressing room slams closed.
Ugh.
And the lights of the flashlights flicker and then come back on. And I also need Deborah to mark your first Crown of the Void, which is a shadow in the garden.
Oh my.
Already. I'm like smacking the
Wait.
flashlight. When did you
What
put
is
batteries
going
in
on
this?
here?
Ladies, I do think there might be a little bit more something going on here than we thought.
What do you mean, Deborah? Except for those flashing lights.
I just have this eerie feeling, and the last time I had that, my husband woke up dead. So, it's not usually a good omen.
I told them to scream if they start getting murdered, so if they don't scream, that is their fault.
It's true. At this moment, I'm a little bit more worried about us than them, because we're the ones kind of poking around in a place where I don't think we're so welcome.
We'll be fine. We're tough.
You're right,
I like your
me young.
honesty. I am going to just take a little overlook of the room and just see if there seems to be any, like, holes in the wall, or if I want to kind of just tap on the mirrors a little bit to see if they sound normal. Just to see if there's yeah.
You look around, and when you turn, you see that Christianna's mirror is shattered now. But
Fuck.
there's nothing behind it, but it was shattered somehow.
I do think she had a very powerful enemy.
Or a very
That is
weak
pretty
mirror.
mysterious.
This whole
Perhaps.
place is weak. Probably was made illegally.
I don't think the fire helped.
That's fair.
No, but there should have been no fire.
Also fair.
No. I'm thinking all of this isn't as forgotten as they want it to be.
Yeah. He did say there's 2 levels to the backstage. Perhaps there's an office on the other level? Or are there, like, stairs other than the metal ones?
The metal ones do lead upstairs to, like, the second floor of the
okay.
backstage.
Are there any other... I'm going to try the dressing room door. Does it let us out?
For a moment, it's stuck, and then you give it, like, a shove, and it kind of, like, creaks open.
I'm just going to kind of whisper to myself and everything else, be like, you do not want to test me. And I'm going to walk out the door.
You walk out, and you see nothing and no one.
That's what I thought.
You very confidently walk to the metal stairs and begin ascending them.
I'm gonna wrap the top of my cane around the side, just as a little bit of a hold.
Yeah, they creak and they squeal, but they hold. And up the stairs to the second floor, there is it's like a walkway, and then this walkway leads out to the sort of scaffolding. It's like these narrow planks where the crew who would manage the lights would go across. And on this little kind of ledge area, there is a door, and the door is just like completely knocked down, and it is open to a room that is basically caved in. It's not in good state. But you do see scattered papers. There's some water dripping down, and if you had to guess, this was an office. It's in bad condition, but it is still possible to investigate.
I'm going to take up a couple papers and start comparing them to the notes that I found in the pockets.
Okay. Can you roll for me a meddling? And I would say roll it with your reason.
A 10.
Okay, that is a hit. You are looking through some of the old papers. Some of them are nasty. Some of them are nasty. They're like soaking wet. They're nasty. You just toss those ones aside, but the ones that are not nasty, you find one that seems to be another letter. And it is in the exact same handwriting, but luckily this one is actually signed. The letter, it reads, it's damaged as well, but it reads along the lines of like an argument, writing, we don't have the funds for this. I appreciate your concern, but I think that I know how to run my theater. And writing about the placement of money and my debt is none of your business. And just this very like defensive letter, and it seems to mention building permits and the repairs of the theater, and basically going into detail about the theater is in good state. I don't need you submitting applications on my behalf. How dare you go behind my back? And it seems to be addressed to Lawrence Leroux.
Oh, God.
And the letter is signed by Harold Schumacher.
Seems that maybe they weren't as fast friends as he wanted us to think.
Is the handwriting the same?
Yes, it's the same handwriting for the love letter and the angry letter.
Question, is this one dated at all?
The date is from sometime around the 1940s.
Also, it looks pretty suspicious that Harold might have had a thing for
Christina?
Christina, yes. This is the same handwriting.
It is, but obviously the feelings were not mutual.
Really not.
But if he did it, then why would he call us if they thought it was a suicide? That would make no sense, unless he wanted to go to jail, which is dumb. He should just
That's a
do
good point, me young. I don't know.
Why on earth would this Lawrence fellow be putting in permit applications for a theater that's not even his?
Because he works there?
They did say that they were
Sure,
old
but-
friends, the three of them.
Yes, but
You want to work in a place that looks like this?
why would you do that without the permission of the owner?
Because sometimes you just do things and then you ask later if it's okay, and then you say, no, it is okay. That's why.
I don't know.
Maybe
If they
he had
prove
other reasons
they're right,
for
why are
wanting
they
this place
doing
to stay open.
Yep.
Did he say what Lawrence's job was here? I don't remember.
He did not say what Lawrence's job was.
I think once we make it our way downstairs, we might need to have a few more questions with dear old Harry.
Mm-hmm. I would
Would you
agree.
like to look around the office more? Wink, 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 wink.
Can I
Yes.
use the
Yep.
flashlight and my monocle thing?
Yeah. Using your flashlight and your beautiful monocle, you can roll a meddling with reason with advantage.
Do not start a
Oh.
fire, Emily. I swear to God.
So, with advantage, you roll 3 d6s and you take the 2 higher dice of the
Excellent.
d6s.
2 6s.
Oh shit! Let's go. Okay,
Plus
that is
one.
like a critical hit.
13.
That is a critical hit. Okay. You find a few things. So, with your sort of this, I would say this is driven by your curiosity of like what exactly is going on with the building and the permits. You find the first thing that you find that catches your eye is a kind of like book. It's kind of like damp. Half of it is ruined, but opening it, it seems to be a ledger for funds, and going through it, just even if you don't have a great grasp of money, it's very clear that these funds are being misused. Just like money's going everywhere. There's lots of debt, like crazy debt, and just complete just mismanagement of money.
Is it
Um,
decide where it's going, or it's just like doesn't make sense?
it does say where some of it is going. So, as you're looking through it, you notice that a lot of the money is going towards the purchasing and the shipping for extravagantly expensive items purchased from overseas. Most of them are art, antiques, designer items, rare items, all of them signed off by Harold.
Is there a fur coat?
Yeah, there is a little one for a fur coat.
Someone was a very generous benefactor.
No kidding.
Yeah, and also, do you think these might be the items that were supposed to be sold off because they were worth some money?
Perhaps.
The ones that we did not find.
Yep, that's almost as mysterious as the body in the theater.
Or the mirror breaking, which I still do not like.
That might be more mysterious than the rest of it, honestly, me young.
Deborah,
Yes.
would your benefactors like haunted theater? There are ghosts probably now.
I mean, I would not put it past this.
Rich people are weird.
They do like their haunted objects. Bit of a nasty trait.
I would also say that Minerva, with the like stunning roll, you also find as you're kind of snooping around, it like a hole behind one of the shelves, and when you're kind of looking at it, this hole in the drywall, you see like papers behind it.
Oh, I'm gonna start pulling stuff out.
You just start pulling stuff out. It's dusty and kind of gross. All of the papers that you pull out are newspapers. And they are all the same article. There must be hundreds of them. And the article, or at least the title of the article, is Prima Donna Injured for Life During Performance. And it details an accident that occurred in 1942 where a rusted stage light fell onto Christianna Julien during a performance, leaving her with permanent injuries to her back. And just due to the sheer quantity of the newspapers and the fact that no one in town, not even yourselves, really knew about this, you can assume that these were never published.
He just bought them all up before anyone could see him? Maybe?
Well, when you have funds, you can keep secrets.
Sure.
I
So
still do
those
not
funds
get
find out.
why Harold then would want us to investigate. It makes no sense.
Are we sure it was Harold that reached out?
It was.
Okay.
The detective said that Harold is. He
They did
implied.
say he was a little senile.
I have
Yeah.
to wonder also if Harold thought that Lawrence was getting in his way. Could something have happened? Did he set all the accident and everything up so that he could get insurance money and get rid of his rival at the same time?
I think that's a possibility.
He does have enough money to travel the world now. So obviously he found the funds somewhere.
Why would he keep the building? If he could just sell it, people say they'll buy it. But he did not sell it. He has all the evidence.
Because maybe keeping his hand on the evidence was worth something for him.
That is true. That is very true. He
Perhaps...
probably cannot lose all the evidence. He is not as strong as us.
He's deeply entangled in all of this mess.
I wonder if there was something else valuable hidden here as well, that he was using it to keep things... Or someone did and he was looking for it, or I don't know. I also...
Question. Sorry, you keep going.
Oh, I was just going to ask, this is an out-of-character question, but did you say that Lawrence was never found after the fire?
Yeah, Harold specifically said after the scaffolding fell on him, they never found him.
Okay.
Never trust when there's no body. No body, no crime.
And perhaps there wasn't a crime. If he was never found, we don't know that he's dead.
I mean, there's still a crime. He got, workplace accident.
Safety issues, yeah, you're not wrong, me young. But also there was no body.
Just a different crime, perhaps?
He might be guilty of fraud, but maybe not murder.
Well, there's certainly a body now.
Yet.
Could I pull from my bag the latest, book? And kind of consult it to see if maybe I get any hints?
Oh, are you doing the one move I begged you guys to do?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Gold Crown mystery move?
Okay,
okay, let's do it. Okay. So, for those who don't know, in Brindlewood Bay, there's a really fun move called the Gold Crown Mystery Moves, and it can only be used once per session. Where basically, the players, they reference the sort of fictional author that they like, called Amanda. It's the character of the mystery books they read, called Amanda Delacourt. And the players work together to describe an event that has to do with the mystery to try to get more information out of what's happening. So to describe how this works is you have to name the Gold Crown mystery in question. You have to talk about the problem or situation Amanda found herself in that is similar to what you're experiencing, how Amanda eventually overcame the problem. Then you take a 12 to a single roll or state a fact about the current situation that I must now incorporate. So we'll start with the name.
Oh gosh.
We're just trying to pull up the sheet just so that I can see all of it. Hold on. Is this the one? Yes, the reference sheet. So
what's the name of the novel?
Gold Crown mystery in question. Should we just call it Retirement at something of the opera? What do you guys think?
That could be fun. Or basically the same thing but worded differently, evening at the concert hall? I don't know.
Yeah, what about Flames of Passion in the opera?
Ooh.
Slightly.
Yeah.
There you go.
Does feel correct.
Yeah, I like
Oh,
that.
that next we must name the problem or situation Amanda herself found herself in, similar to what the Mavens are experiencing. So would that be a storyline, or would it be us investigating the story?
It would be a plot line
like
of the book.
Yeah, it's her plot line. What mystery is she investigating?
She's investigating a burnt down theater where a former actress has passed away, and it appears that there's a love triangle, and now 2 out of the 3 are dead.
Okay. And how did Amanda overcome this problem or resolve it?
she killed Harold. No.
She's actually the killer the whole time.
You would, any ideas? Are we allowed to confer?
I mean,
or
maybe
Yeah, you can confer.
she found the secret identity of the person who faked their own death in order to spend decades to try to expose an injustice.
That's good. That was a really good part of that book.
I don't know.
I love that one.
Remind me, how did she find the person's new identity? I don't remember.
They returned to the scene of the crime quite a few decades later and left a couple clues of their new life there by accident because they didn't believe anyone was coming back to that theater.
So they were using it to hide out. Perhaps the
They were hiding
perpetrator
out there.
found out or something.
Was that the one with secret passageways in the walls? I can't remember.
Oh, yes.
Ones
I
that
think you're
led
right.
underneath the theater.
Oh my god, yes, I'd forgotten that.
Behind
That's
the
the
orchestra
best
pit.
old the book over and over, and it's new every time. That's what what my grandmother said out of character.
You all, so Mi Young takes out the Passion Fire at the Opera, and you are kind of going over, how Amanda Delacourt, she was investigating the murder of a singer at this opera. There was a love triangle, and she ended up solving it by discovering that someone had faked their death and had a secret identity and were leaving, little clues behind to expose an injustice that was happening at the theater. And she ended up discovering that this person was living in the theater through a series of mysterious tunnels inside of it. And she hunted them down and managed to solve the mystery. Now...
The character in the book's name was Bruno.
Bruno.
We don't talk about Bruno.
Now, would you like to take 12 on a roll? Or
Yes.
fact about the current situation that I have to incorporate?
Yeah, why don't we use it to find the passageway? Does that sound smart?
Okay. So you're thinking to yourselves, maybe there is a passageway. So I want whoever would like to, I would say probably Mi Young, to roll, well, it would be a pass anyways. It would be a meddling roll using your reason. You are thinking to yourself where passageways and things like that could be in this place. And so you step out of the office and you know that scene in Coraline where she has the water stick and she's kind of wandering around? You're kind of doing the same thing where you're just kind of following your senses, and you're looking around the scaffolding, and it doesn't really make sense that the scaffolding would lead to secret tunnels. It's pretty bare bones and it's also pretty damaged. So you head back downstairs and your eyes turn towards the old collapsing sort of background that is leaning against the wall, and you do notice that there is a crack, kind of if it's fallen like this, there's a little area of a crack, just like a triangle that is just big enough for most of you to fit through.
Well, that sure is strange.
This is on the stage, right?
This is in the backstage, first level.
Backstage. Can we see out into where the seating area is at all?
You look out to the seating area and you see Harold kind of falling asleep in the chair, and Detective Gill looks towards you guys and gives a little wave.
Just kind of goes.
Seems like they're doing fine.
Detective Gill kind of raises an eyebrow and just nods slowly.
Just smile and wave, boys. Just smile and wave.
Shake my cane at them.
You might want to use the cane because the floor is apparently rickety, and if we fall, then that would be bad, and we would be dead too.
It's true. I think I can go first and just kind of keep poking along, making sure nothing's gonna collapse on us.
This is the 10-foot pole of D&D Basic.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to break a hip in this investigation.
I got a new
No,
one.
it's healthcare.
I would say, I would say Deborah can roll a, what's the word I'm looking for? A day roll, a day move with your vitality.
Ooh.
Okay. I can pick a move and do that? That's what we're saying?
It's called the day move.
Yes, I got you. You might have to walk me through this just a little bit.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just trying to, my notes are all buried. Where is it? There we go.
No,
So it's called the day move. So when you do something risky or face something you fear, name what you're afraid will happen if you fail or lose your nerve, then roll with the appropriate ability. So roll a 2d6 with your vitality.
Mhm.
And then let me know, what are you afraid will happen as you're going into this?
That I will fall through to something unexpected underneath.
Alright. Go ahead and roll.
And I rolled a 7.
That is a complicated success. I believe, if I
Bye,
remember
everybody.
correctly. Bye.
Bye now.
It was nice knowing you.
Bye now, love.
So you start poking, and you your cane gets a little stuck, and you kind of pull it out, and you just hear some creaking, and you're kind of looking around, and you can choose to tell me if you're gonna go through with it or if you're gonna back out.
Deborah Decantor does never back down from a challenge.
Alright. You push through despite the kind of creaky noises, and you slip into the kind of behind this giant scene, and you come face to face with yourself. And we're gonna take a little break.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we're gonna take a quick break. You should take one too. Grab some water, make a donation, whatever you feel like. We'll be back in a few minutes. Bye. All right, I think we're back. Should be good.
Yes, welcome back to Retirement at the Opera. Where we left off, Deborah was going into a strange hole. Silent Hill style, just jumping right down in there.
Terrifying.
So, as I had described, you had went through and then suddenly came face to face with yourself. And for a moment, you're very taken back, and then you realize that you're looking in a reflection and that you're in front of a mirror.
It's nice to know that that's probably tattoo in my hair. All right. I'm going to pick myself up and take a look around to see if it's what kind of area that I ended up in.
Yeah. So you had went, through the crack in this old, sort of backdrop, wooden backdrop, and you are now kind of between the wall and the backdrop, and there is a mirror that is attached to the wall. Maybe at some point it was just a mirror for actors to quickly look at themselves in, between changes and costumes that has been blocked by, this backdrop being leaned against this area of the wall. And you're looking in the mirror, and roll meddling, and add your reason. Yes.
11.
All right, that is a hit. You kind of are touching the mirror, and you're kind of running your hands along it.
My own face.
Yeah, and you pull the mirror, and it comes and it opens like a door, and past it is a tunnel.
Oh shoot!
Ladies, I think I might have found that secret passage we kind of were talking about.
Oh.
If you would like to come and join me, I think I might have sat on my flashlight.
Shining the flashlight in.
Where did the flashlight go? I heard about many men who had done this before. That they fall and then things end up there. I do not understand. I've never fallen like that.
No, unfortunately, I think I just cracked it with my bony little butt. That's just how it goes.
Like cracked, or like how bad have you cracked your crack?
I might need to find a nice person to help me investigate one day, but unfortunately, I think we have to move forward right now.
Maybe Harold.
No offense, ladies. We're too close of friends. I don't want to ruin that relationship.
I would not get with Harold.
I'm very confused.
No, I'm starting to think that might not be such a great idea.
Right, I'll take the rear.
I'll hop down this hole. I'm coming, Deborah. Just you hold on a second, honey.
Shining the light in.
I've got my flashlight.
Yeah.
Yeah, hop in.
You're all able to successfully kind of go in through this hole. And you do see this tunnel. It is a long stone tunnel. And it is cold, like bone cold, and a wind kind of blows through it. And on the walls are these torch fixtures that look like hands gripping torches, but they're unlit. And as you're going through, and there's like cobwebs, you're navigating through it, and it leads down like a slanted decline. And after walking for who knows how long, you finally reach another door, and it's closed. It's a closed wooden door.
I'm gonna grab one of the torches if it seems like they are usable and pull out a little matchbook and just kind of...
Yeah, you light the torch. It lights up.
Do not drop the torch and sit on it. That would be bad.
It's true, I am just that little bit clumsy. I will do my best.
I don't recall the mystery novels ever mentioning how very cold these secret passages are.
They must have forgotten to put that detail in.
How would someone live in a place like this? I swear.
Probably they have, a crocheted blanket.
Sure.
I suspect you're right.
A shawl. One of these, I point to my sweet fit of mismatched patterns and vests. That,
You are appropriately dressed for this kind of weather right now, I'm just a little bit jealous.
The only problem is the visor right now makes it hard to see.
Everything is green.
I am not taking it off.
Well, that's
It's
your
protective
prerogative.
eyewear.
It only comes off when I shower and sleep.
At least when it comes off when you shower, at least.
Yeah.
Yes, I tried putting it in the shower before. It has not worked out very well.
Just flush it off.
Yes, then I do not get properly cleaned. And hygiene is important. Which I assume if we find this Lawrence Moreau, he will not be hygiened. He will be very stinky, so we should keep our noses open.
Boy. Deborah, do you open the door?
Yes, I'm going
So-
to pull on the door.
I'm
You
sniffing.
grab the handle of the door and you open it, and it's very creaky. And it opens to a room that is just covered in candles.
Are they
It
lit?
is a square room, and there are candles just everywhere. They're lit, causing this just orange hue to be, illuminated in this room. It's on first glance, it's mostly just a bedroom. There is to the left an area with a desk, and you see some crates of food, and to the right is a bed that has one of those like curtains around it, so it's kind of, you can't really see anything on the bed. And in the middle of the room is a partially burned mannequin. And when you approach it and take a closer look at it, it's dressed in old silk dress and a wig. And you realize that the mannequin has been made in the likeness of Christianna. And pinned to it are just hundreds of old letters, photos, keepsakes collected over the years. And if you'd like to inspect the closer, you could roll a meddling move.
Yes, let's.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Do you think that's what they call a little bit obsessive?
I want to know.
I think it's what you call stalking, which is crime.
And what do I add to it?
You can add your reason.
Ooh, then that is 12.
That's a critical hit. You find two main things. The first thing that stands out to you is that there's most of the letters are addressed between two people. So either it's written to Pearl or written to Oyster, or it's written from Pearl from Oyster.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the letters that you read that's dated around the 1950s seems to detail, and it's written by Oyster, a plan to stage a fire in an attempt to kill Harold. And letters written, there are some more letters written that seem to have been written recently, within like the current year. And one of the letters that stands out to you is a letter from Pearl that has the date of when she's going to be landing and the time and place of when she'll be arriving at the Opera House early to take a look around before Harold arrives.
So I do believe we are a bit correct. It seems like, based on the photo that we found in the other room, Lawrence might not be as deceased as he was supposed to be, and he was expecting Christina, when she was going to arrive. And based on the look of this lovely lady, I don't think it was going to be a pleasant interaction.
Can I use my riding crap to just move the curtain and see if someone's on the bed?
Oh my god.
You
I hate
move the curtain,
Imagine.
and someone is on the bed.
it.
And you freeze, and you realize that it is an old woman. And she is tied up.
Hello?
Like, in what way? Like,
Who are
Like,
you?
just like with like her hands kind of, like she's sitting up. She just has like her hands tied behind her back.
Does she match the description of Christina?
She does. And she has like a kind of like a fabric around her mouth, and she goes,
I'll pull it out.
Yeah.
"Oh, thank you. Oh,
What?
we are in grave danger."
From whom?
Who brought you here?
When you say "from whom," you hear the door of the room slam, and a cold wind blows through the room, extinguishing all the candles. And you
And my
just
torch?
hear this voice, and your torch, and you just hear this voice from all around you go, "You would do best to leave the dead alone, wouldn't you?" And from just the darkness, like from this little like area of the door, it like opens, and you just see this mask. It is a white masquerade mask with just dead eyes staring into the room.
Like dead eyes or like dead eyes?
Like, just dead-looking eyes.
Sweetie, I don't think she's dead yet. Nor are we.
Maybe not
Lawrence?
yet. So you figured it all out, didn't you?
Well,
Yes.
How far away is the door?
Yes.
probably.
The door from the bed is maybe about 5 feet away.
If I stayed around the mannequin, whereabouts is that door?
About 3 foot away.
Hmm.
I'm holding my riding crop like a sword now between me and the
Right?
person.
Yeah. got my trowel out too.
As
Yeah.
a chef, could I have like a knife that's sheathed in my bag? Just my big cleaver.
I won't say you could have a cleaver, but you could have like a pot or a pan.
Okay, that
Or
works.
like
Yes.
Can I try to poke him in the face with my cane?
I would, okay. There's not really fighting in this game. I would say
mask off.
roll, just roll 2d6.
It's more like when the old ladies like whack the guy with the cane, just like no, bam.
I will say you cannot, because
Okay.
it's just like, it's such a small hole. It would be so precise. It's not really a whack. You'd have to like stab it in there, but he'd see it coming.
Then I'm just gonna knock the door by him and be like, go.
You hear him kind of laugh, like this very malicious chuckle, and he goes, "I am very sorry that I could not treat you like the very gentle ladies you are, but unfortunately I cannot have you interfering with my plans. Not even my dear Christianna."
Does he
I
sound
mean, you
familiar?
could.
Oh, well, since you're on a monologue, my friend, how about you tell us about your plans? We'd just love to hear that.
You hear Christianna say behind you, "He is insane, that is his plan. He is gone completely crazy. He is not the same Lawrence that I knew before. I swear, we were not supposed to hurt anybody. It was all him."
Dear, it looks like things have gone so wrong here. Somebody else was about to talk, sorry, I cut you off.
No, it's fine. I was just gonna ask if the voice sounds familiar at all.
It doesn't sound familiar.
Can I start
You
looking
go ahead.
Can I start looking around the room for things to use my Maven move to get back out?
What's your Maven move?
Angus MacGyver.
Mhm.
When you improvise
Yes.
you improvise in a situation using whatever is at hand, ask the other players and keeper to name 3 objects you find in the environment. So long as you can give a plausible explanation for how one or more of these 3 objects will help you with an action, you can have an advantage on a single roll related to that action.
What action do you want to perform?
I want to try to get the door back open. Maybe pop it off its
Okay.
hinges so that
Okay.
instead of the latch
Um,
going the other way.
You find, I guess, 3 items. You find a fire pit poker. You find a letter opener, and you find a prop sword that's not sharp.
Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna kind of like move out of his line of sight and start like getting against the door while he's monologuing because my friends have set it up so well. I'm gonna like
Well,
wedge the letter opener in where like one of the pins is, and then set the like poker against the letter opener to give me more surface and start hitting it with my dead flashlight.
I would say roll a vitality, but I'm gonna say with disadvantage because these are very strong metal hinges.
Okay.
So with disadvantage, you roll 3, and then you take the 2 lowest.
Okay.
This is a citizen's arrest.
6.
That is a failure, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You start trying to hit, and the letter opener snaps in half, and the fire poker bends. and you literally see Lawrence kind of like do this and look at you.
Minerva, darling, if you need it, I've got some chiclets and like a rubber band in my purse.
I do have a metal nail file in my purse. That's how I keep them nice and sharp.
You hear Lawrence go, "If you want to stay alive for a little bit longer, I suggest that you calm down."
Oh, darling, I don't think you understand how much we don't appreciate men telling us to calm down. Do you want to stay alive? I suggest you stop telling us to calm down.
I have defied death many times before. I am not afraid of 4 little ladies.
Well, we're 5, so you should learn to count.
Well, that one is tied up.
Can I?
Christiana's like, yeah, bro, I'm still tied up.
Use the prop.
And start untying her.
You untie her, and you hear Lawrence laugh and go, "Well, I hope you enjoy your stay at the opera. I have some work to do. It is time for me to pay Harold a visit." And the thing closes, and you hear footsteps walking right in the door, and you take a few moments, and Christianna goes, "I'm so sorry that you're involved in this mess. I swear we did not mean for any of this to happen."
You wanted
What was
to kill
your plan?
Harold.
Well, maybe I should start from the beginning. She looks
As
very
we're trying
kind
to,
of
break down the door. She's monologuing, so it's like
Yeah.
clang, clang.
yeah. She's to describe what she looks like, she's a very kind of old, frail woman. She's older than all of you are, and she kind of walks with a bit of a hunch, and she doesn't seem to be in the greatest health. And she goes, "Well, I don't know how much you know, or what you were able to find out."
I would say we know quite a bit. I'm curious to know why you've kept his secrets so many years that he's been alive while letting everyone else believe that he was dead.
Well, I did not know he was alive for a very long time. We all thought that he was dead after the fire. But then, maybe a few years after, I got a letter from him saying that he was alive and that he was living in the theater. He has told me that
didn't
he
think
was...
that was a red flag.
You see... You see... You know, men are not shit. But you see, sometimes when you wear the rose-colored glasses, all the flags just look like flags, you know? And let me tell you, man, he was really good in the bed, you know? So I just...
That's fair.
Credit where credit
Sorry.
is due, I suppose.
I can't even remember what I was saying.
Respect.
She was telling how she ended up in this situation. the
Yeah. Well, you know, we had been friends for so very long. I had grown up with Lawrence, and so together we had even come here to immigrate to America so that we could pursue what we wanted, which was the theater. And you know, we had come here, and well, Lawrence was the love of my life, but there was some issues with Harold. He was a good man, but he was very prideful, and he was obsessed with me. I mean, I had a few encounters with him where maybe we could have been in romantic, but it just never turned out the way that he wanted. And my heart it had always belonged to Lawrence. But Harold could not accept this, and so he had started, what's the word I'm looking for? Wasting money? He had started buying me so many things. Antiques and paintings and many nice things. It was nice, but I did not love him. And he had spent so much of his money. And he had neglected the theater. And many times he had gotten into arguments with Lawrence about dangerous things in the theater that he had let fall into disarray. And no matter what Lawrence did, he would not listen. But then, in the sometime within the 1940s, while we were doing a performance, one of the lights had fallen on me because Harold had not had them. I'm going Russian again. He had not had them maintenanced. He had not had them maintenance in a very long time. And so it had fallen on me, and it injured me very badly. And I still have the injuries today. I am still trying to recover from them. I will never recover from them. And Lawrence was furious. Harold did not want it to be public. He had stopped the newspaper from publishing, and I did not want to pursue it. I just honestly wanted to leave the theater. But Harold, we had a contract with some money, and I could not leave. And so Lawrence suggested that we try something that was extreme, but I was desperate to leave. He wanted to cause damage to the theater so that Harold would just sell it. But I never knew that he wanted to kill Harold until the day of the fire, where he stayed back trying to find a way to get Harold trapped in the building, but in doing so he ended up getting trapped himself. And then I thought that he was dead. We all did. Then he sent me letters and told me that he was biding his time so that he could get revenge on Harold for all the things that he had blamed that he had done. And listen, I think Harold is not the best man, but he is not a man who deserves to just be killed. And so I told him, no, I don't want to do that, but we had talked for many years, sending letters. And then he told me that he wanted to see me and put the past over. And he asked me to come visit him. And he said that he wanted me to convince Harold to sell the theater. So I sent Harold a letter, and then I came. And when I had come this morning to meet up with Lawrence, he told me that he wanted my help to expose Harold for what he had done. He had heard of you, of the Murder Mavens, and the work that you do in solving mysteries. He wanted to bring you here to expose all the things that Harold had done. And I said, yes, maybe we can do that and finally get some kind of justice, even if he could not be charged. At least it would ruin his reputation. But then he told me he wanted to kill Harold, and I said I didn't want that. And I guess he changed more from the man that I thought he was, because he had tied me up, and he there was a maintenance woman that he threw off the balcony and killed. One that looked like me. And he dressed her in my clothing. It was awful. I didn't want any of this to happen. But now if we don't hurry, he's going to kill Harold and anyone who stands in his way. Yes.
Question. In the letters, did she agree to wanting to kill Harold as Pearl or Oyster?
She was always kind of argumentative, like kind of wishy-washy, like I don't think that's a good idea.
Okay, so
No,
it's
I
not
don't really
like-
want that.
Got it.
Hmm.
You need better taste in men.
I
Yes,
was
the
gonna
heart-
say, and if I say that, that's a bad sign.
Sometimes the heart is blind. But yes. But right now, we have to get out of here. I don't want him to kill Harold. I don't care if I get in trouble for any of this either. I can't let him go through with that.
Don't worry, you are also under citizen's arrest. Let's go.
The door, this metal door, it is like a thick wooden door, and the hinges are very strong, and it seems like it was locked.
Is there a place to do like a little lock picking?
Mm.
You could try, yeah.
I do have a metal nail file and
All right.
confidence.
I
I'm
would say
pretty sure
roll,
I have
like,
some bobby pins in my purse.
Ooh. Whichever one we think is gonna work better.
I would say roll vitality. Or sorry, roll 2d6 and then add your vitality.
9.
9. I believe that's a complicated success. Let me double check.
My life is nothing but complicated.
And a success.
And it's a
I
success.
mean, take what you can get.
It is complicated. You start trying to lockpick, and you manage to get it turned halfway, but then the nail file snaps and it gets stuck in there.
Does it feel like the door is any looser?
A little bit, but it's still like shut.
Could I use my Maven move where I get a plus... once per session, you can take a plus 12 on any roll related to a wild or daring physical feat as Colt Seavers.
I was really hoping you would do this. Like, I really hope Young smashes this door down.
Neon takes their spot, and you see them winding up, and then they just fucking go to town. And it's like ringing really loud, and it's like oh, this detective hears things, and he's not shit.
Yeah, you just smash this door down, and like it's splintered, and everyone is staring at you like, holy shit.
I look back at Christina, and I say, remember, you are under citizen's arrest. Do not cross us.
Don't mess with Young.
Mic drop.
Yeah, she's like, all right, the door's open, y'all.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Dear Lord.
Yeah, you guys scuttle. You skitty. You scuttle out and through the narrow coal tunnel and back out to the backstage. And when you reach the backstage, you look out, because there's a stage, and you look out towards the auditorium, and you see Detective Gill on the ground. And Harold's nowhere to be seen.
I'm gonna go and do a little life check. See if I find a pulse.
You go to him, and he's alive, But he has a big bruise on his head, and he seems very dazed.
What
Which way
happened?
did they go?
And he points up.
Oh,
that's
and
not
you-
good.
You all look up, and you see the Lawrence with his mask and like this dark cloak holding Harold at the very top of where the dome is.
Lawrence, I think that's a level of drama that might not have been necessary.
Now, as this is
Just
happening, I
saying.
want all of you guys to imagine the from Phantom of the Opera.
Are you going to break out into song now? I know you're an actor.
My angel of music.
Christina finds a pipe organ downstairs and just starts.
Yeah.
She's in on it this whole time.
The pipe organ is now an accomplice and also under citizen arrest.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're gonna.
That's right.
Christianna, she looks at you all and she goes, I will try to distract him for as long as I can. You have to get up there.
Oh, for heaven's sake. All right. Let's go.
With these
Hot
old
hot
knees?
hot two.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
Christianna is like talking to him. She's like basically pleading with him, like, this is not what we want. Like, this isn't what we should do. Like, you're angry, but like we have to let it go. And Lawrence is like, no, bitch. No, he doesn't say bitch. He's like, no,
Ah.
wench.
Nah, boo.
fuck this guy. Nah. Y'all skedaddle up to the second floor of the backstage, and you were faced with probably the deadliest challenge of this whole thing, which is trying to get across this rickety scaffolding
Jeez.
with your old knees.
this is why we take those cardio classes at the YMCA.
That's right.
For
You're
moments
not
like
wrong.
Hold on. Reference sheet.
Alright. How wide
This
is the scaffolding?
It's pretty narrow. It's just wide enough for like both your feet to be beside each other if you're standing on it, but it's suspended by like rope, so it's kind of like wavy and rickety. It has like little things on it as well. What we could do, this is what I was thinking of doing, is you could roll a day move, but we're gonna do like kind of like a group roll. So everyone will roll a day move with their vitality, and basically as many successes as there are, that will kind of determine how well you do.
Okay.
So everybody
Okay.
roll. Everybody roll.
Well, I rolled dice last time when I didn't realize that I could take the plus for the golden crown, so I rolled a 9 with my modifier.
Okay.
I got a 12. A 5, a 6, plus
Hell yeah.
1.
I got a 7, a 2, and a 4 plus 1.
Alright.
I got an
You had to roll
8.
2 dice, right?
Yeah. Okay, so a 9, an 8, a 12, and a 7.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. It's all around it complicated. So I'll say you guys start skedaddling across this like rickety scaffolding. It's like kind of like waving a little bit. It's hard to explain unless you've like I guess watched the Phantom of the Opera movie with Gerard Butler, where like he's jumping across this like like rope. It's kind of like a rope bridge kind of, except
Yeah.
it's just like planks, and they're very rickety and old. And with the complicated successes, I would say you get about halfway there until the sort of like line of walking stops as you're all kind of just in suspension and nervousness. And I'm gonna make y'all roll again.
Oh, it's good that time.
11.
All right.
7.
I like these guys for being nice to me.
9.
11.
Ooh, halfway. I'll lean in the favor of the winners, of the hits. You guys steal your courage, mumble words of encouragement to each other, and you get across the scaffolding to the door that leads to where Lawrence and Harold are passed, to the kind of circular edge around the roof.
Who's in front? Alright, I open the door.
Deborah opens the door, and Lawrence kind of like swings around, and he has like Harold. He's holding Harold and has like a knife to his throat. And Lawrence is like, don't interfere on this.
My dear, it is far too late for that. We're already here. We've just climbed a bunch of bloody stairs.
We certainly aren't going back.
I will jump off with both of us if we take another step closer.
Well, wouldn't that just break Christiana's heart?
What do you know about Christianna? You just came here and meddling in our business.
First of all, we saw all the letters. Second of all, she told us. She said her heart will only ever belong to you.
Who
Heart
said that?
will go on.
That is
sounds
what
like
she
a-
said.
But
And you hear
clearly, you don't value that as much as you should.
As you value revenge, what will get you more? That end or a life of continued beginnings and memories? And then I
Christiana.
start thinking memories from Cat. Just kidding. Memories.
Oh, I have to run a freaking Cats campaign sometime. Anyways, Andrew Lloyd Webber, love the man, hate the man, but he knows how to write a musical. Okay.
I forgot what a Jellicle cat was on Monday, and I called them Juggalo cats.
That is a completely different plot.
Sounds fantastic to me.
It's just
Lawrence goes, my love for Christiana is eternal, but she does not understand that this man needs to suffer for everything that he put us through.
what do you get out of him suffering? It just ends. And it ends badly for you, and it ends badly for everyone involved. What do you get out of it?
I get the satisfaction to know that this man does not get to walk away from all of this.
He never did get to walk away from all of this. He's been alone for a bazillion years, and he's had this stupid place hanging over his head the entire time.
And he's balding.
You hear Christiana say, "They're right.
He is balding.
You've spent balding, and you have spent so much time here, rotting away with this place and the past. You say you want to move on, but this is not a way to move on. And now you're going to even criminalize yourself even more. But that's not what I wanted. Lawrence, I begged you so many times to leave this place and come to live with me so we could come be together. But now we have so much wasted time, and not much of it left."
In France, they have cheese.
Yes, and at the very least, would want to spend my last moments with you happy, instead of watching this.
Do you realize that the only person who has ruined your life at this point is you?
The male
And
moment.
you've been doing it for years. From the look of things.
True.
I would say, roll a day move with your I think it's charm, or is it presence? Presence, I believe it is.
Who's rolling?
Everybody. We're doing a group roll, boys.
Then
Yeah.
I'm going to use my Maven move and get a +1 to my presence.
I got
Oh, yeah.
2 6s. +0.
5!
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to
All
see
of my
what
days are going to jail.
It's a +0, right? If you didn't take it. So I did not roll well. I rolled a 6 total.
Uh-huh.
So technically, I got a 13
Nice.
All right.
with my
I will.
+2.
I'll be merciful and I'll roll in favor of the successes, because it was partial success and then 2 successes, 1 fail. Your words seem to really resonate with him, and you see like his shoulders kind of deflate, and it's clear that he's tired, And he has been doing this, and it's kind of hit him, the words that you say. The fact that he's wasted his life contemplating revenge, living in this dog shit old theater that is like partially burnt down,
Having food.
just contemplating every day how he's going to kill Harold when he could have just been spending his remaining days by Christiana's side. And now he, might not even be able to do that. But at the very least, he could, make the right decision. And so you see him, like, push Harold forward, let him go. And Harold kind of, like, falls to the ground. And he tosses the knife away.
Smart move.
Mm-hmm.
Come. You're
Scoop
under
Harold up.
arrest. But at least you'll be with Christianna in prison.
Yeah. He takes his mask off, and underneath it, part of his face has been very badly burnt, probably from the fire. And
Is he balding?
well, half of his head is bald because of the damage.
Well, that's different.
Fair.
But the rest of it is like a full head of hair.
Yeah, he has luscious golden locks, bro.
Oh shit.
But he's old as
He's
fuck
like a-
too.
He has like a Skrillex then.
Yeah, he's like Skrillex. He takes the mask off and it's Skrillex.
Oh my god. Skrillex the time traveler?
Yeah, it's Skrillex.
Wild.
The most supernatural being of all.
He lets
Just
you
dance music from the sides.
he lets you citizens arrest him. And when you get back down, luckily Detective Gill is back up and he slams those handcuffs on him. And he also looks to Harold and Christiana and goes, you two are not scot-free either. You are going to come down with me to the station and we're going to take everything out in the open. And they agree, Harold and Christiana, they're not going to resist. And as he's kind of shuffling everyone out the door, Detective Gill looks to you all and says, I would like to apologize for dismissing you when I first met you. You're really good detectives.
We know.
We meet every Thursday if you want some tips.
And he laughs a little bit and goes, maybe I will. And
yeah, because just so you know, the woman in your morgue is not Christiana.
Yeah. As might be.
he kind of
now.
he makes a face like, bruh. And he's like, yes. I figured since Christiana is right here, we will have to figure that out, but thank you.
They're a maintenance worker, so this guy, he has assaulting officer, kidnapping, assault, murder in the first degree was planned. Other things.
Arson.
Conspiracy to do a bunch of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Attempted murder.
He also has conspiracy to murder. He also has, what else? Stalking. Squatting.
Yeah.
So trespassing.
Harassment.
Harassment.
Yep.
Being stinky. So public nuisance. He's very stinky.
Being very sticky. Yeah. Detective Gill just kind of hears you list everything off and he's nodding as he's walking. And by the time you get back outside the theater, it's about nightfall. The sun's starting to go down. And the detective puts Lawrence into the back of his car, but he leaves Christiana and Harold sitting on some chairs because he's not going to sit these poor old people on the curb. And he kind of calls into his station to get some backup, to get some extra cars. And as you're all sort of huddled outside the theater, you hear the bell of the theater ringing, because it used to be a cathedral and there's a bell tower. And when you look up towards it, you swear just briefly you can see someone dressed maybe in the similar attire to what Lawrence was wearing, but it's dark. It could maybe just be, a trick of the light.
It's Tuxedo Mask from Sailor Moon, or it's Quasimodo from Notre Dame.
And as the bell is ringing for the first time in 20 years at the opera, it finally brings a close to the phantoms of this theater's past. And that's the end of the mystery.
We solved it!
Yay!
You solved it!
Love us.
We did it!
Hey, great job. Yeah.
Woo! Oh, that was
so fun.
amazing.
When
That
you
was
guys
so
were
much
doing
fun.
the golden mysteries and you went, this guy with a secret identity is actually alive in the tunnels, and I went, wow, they just literally solved the mystery. I was trying to keep a straight face. I was like, y'all literally just did it. You just did it. That's literally the plot.
Yes! We really are murder mavens!
Yeah, you are.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
That was
thank you everyone for playing. I'm glad you had fun. For people watching, this was Brindlewood Bay. This was Retirement at the Opera. Thank you all so much for watching. And there's still some more Spooktober games, if I remember correctly.
Yes. So we've got some of our regularly scheduled games the next couple of days, and then Sunday afternoon is Maggie's game, A House Not a Home. It's the Darkest House one-shot. That's at 1 p.m. on Sunday. So check that out. A couple of us are in it. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's go around and find out who everybody is once again, and I will find out if we're supposed to rate somebody or not. Give me just a second. Who wants to go first?
I can go first.
Go for it.
I'm Woody. I am most well known at the Storyteller's Tavern, which is a TTRPG podcast and content manufacturer, I guess you could say. We have 2 podcast shows currently. We played Call of Cthulhu, where we played Hotel Hell, and then we just released our last episode for The Sunless Citadel, which is a D&D game with a twist where we're actually in a homebrew setting that our lovely DM Pedro created for us. We're on like a little bit of a break, but very soon, hopefully, we will be back with another very exciting series. I can't say much now, but it's in space, so you can make a guess of what we're playing.
Cool.
And you can find all of our handles is the Storyteller Tavern.
Cool. Awesome. Oh, let's go around. Maggie, you next.
This is a personal attack. No, I am Maggie. You can find me here on Mondays in Mistwalkers, as well as Fridays in Fixie's 5. I am also, as we said, running Sunday. I'm running The Darkest House by Monty Cook Games, where nothing bad will happen whatsoever, even though the house hates you. Oh, God.
What?
I'm
What?
whispering.
The house hates us, Maggie.
Melissa, you can't hear this.
Sounds totally safe. Go safe.
Totally
Find me-
not listening.
Yeah, you can find me as Hollow Eyes when I do stuff sometimes. And I'm, again, just to reiterate, I'm really cool. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Amy, why don't you go next?
Sure. I'm Amy. I'm Amory by the Sea on pretty much every social media. I just play a lot of dress up on the internet most of the time, sometimes to become your new sleep paralysis demon if the comments on my couple costumes recently are anything to go by. So, hey,
Oh no.
success.
Amazing.
That sounds great.
Hey.
Alyssa, why don't you go next and I'll wrap it up.
Okay. Yep. I'm Alyssa, and you can find me at Alyssa B. _illustrations on Instagram. I make a whole bunch of different art content and do all kinds of arty things. And
Cool. And I'm Emily, or Corvée. I write one-shots, do doodles, and show up here occasionally to play different characters. I think that's it. Yeah, I'm Corvée on all the socials. Check it out. Don't forget to check out our sponsor, Canadian Dice, if I can spell sponsor correctly. And then donate to Extra Life for Kids. We are raising money all through the end of the year. Last year we managed to raise $1,300, and we're working on meeting it or beating it. So, in true D&D fashion. Yeah. Thanks for joining us. Make a donation if you can, and we'll see you later.
Thank you.
thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys. Watch Phantom of the Opera. It's really good musical.
It is.